Hello and welcome to the Merle Unlock podcast. I'm Merle.
I'm Luck.
Set sail and low expectations for everything nerd, accompanied by healthy, albeit shameful, helping to pointless banter, lack of focus, and questionably acquired knowledge.
And more.
And more. So, we're right back to it again. I know everyone's so excited for this. We're talking about World of Warcraft once again.
Pew, pew, pew.
Oh, how exciting. Okay, so now we are in the fourth zone, Azj-Kahet, the last kingdom of the Nerubians. Alright, so some things get kind of odd down there, like some unexpected twists and turns. We're following Illyria down into the darkest depths because, Xal'atath just has Illyria on a string and just pulling her along. Just, hey, follow me.
Just dangling that little keychain in front of her. Here you go. Eh?
Exactly. Yeah. So we decide, we're like, okay, whatever. Let's hit it up, Illyria. And we go down to confront the Nerubian forces. While we're battling them, we have some troubles with Anduin again. I remember the point in that fight where we were trying to jump on this airship. There's a big ballista that's about to shoot down the airship that we're all getting on, trying to escape it. Not necessarily escape, but I mean to take out the forces. And Anduin, he's been fighting to be able to rekindle his relationship to the light. And he decides to take a page out of his daddy's book and make a heroic leap to save the day.
I'm pretty sure I heard, "For daddy!" just as he jumps.
So he jumps off the platform. He knocks the ballista off target, and it shoots the bolt wildly and misses the ship. Anduin gets surrounded.
That's it. He died.
That's the end of Anduin.
And that's it.
He's gone now. So,
yeah, no. He's still out there, and Illyria's like, we gotta go find him.
Yeah, at this point, Illyria's freaking out. She's like, we'll kill them all. And
she's getting ready to smack Anduin for his dumbass decisions.
Yeah, she's getting kind of fed up with him and his silly choices. After that point, we head down into Azj-Kahet. We actually come across this new species that's been unknown to us till this point, which they're more of a secretive bunch that tried to stay, out of sight, but they they save Illyria by striking someone down, or a Nerubian down, or something like that. Just like trying to get our backs. We eventually come in contact with these people that saved us, and they're called the Horinir. I think that's how you say it.
At this point, we're taking guesses at how to pronounce it.
Yeah, I know I'm going to butcher like a bunch of names and stuff today because we're talking about Neruvians, right? I mean, they have the most complicated names imaginable. But we find these Horinir, one Horinir specifically. Her name is Orwena. They're like trolls, pretty much.
Yeah, just underground trolls.
Yeah, underground trolls, which I remember when we first found Orwena, and, we had to do this mission that was kind of introducing us to this thing that they call the Black Blood.
Black Blood.
Which is essentially the blood of the old gods. They're telling us about all the corruption and what have you. And I remember when we came across Orwena and started doing these quests, I was like, we have so many different iterations of the same races, but we've never had a different iteration of goblins.
Give it time.
I'm wondering when we're going to get different goblins, right? World of Warcraft's been around how long now, so surely, eventually, we're going to get some different goblins. But anyway, that's a little side topic for another day. So we're introduced to this black blood. We find out it's being used or harvested by the Nerubians. When we come in contact with it, it puts us in like a different reality, sort of. It's kind of like the upside down, I guess it could be correlated to. Essentially, where you see things that weren't there before, or like creatures that weren't there before, but now they are. It gets you high. The black blood, it gets you high, and it's odd.
A little drug trip.
Yeah. We're trying to figure out what the Nerubians are using it for. The Nerubians are actually using it to empower themselves in a way. They call it like ascension. They become ascended.
This is a lot like how the Buddhists use some drugs to reach a higher state of mind, right?
Yeah, maybe. But yeah, this ascension, like, it changes the Nerubians. It makes them
bipedal.
Yeah. It makes them bipedal, and they stop producing pheromones, so they become less bug-like.
Right.
Their ascension essentially not being bugs anymore and being more humanoid. An odd thing that we're trying to wrap our heads around, but I guess it just makes them more powerful. And we want to know who gave us this idea of harvesting the black blood. And, we can all assume by this point who's behind it. Our good old friend Xalatath. We do find out because of this lack of pheromone production, the Ascended, they can't produce pheromones, and that's how the leadership had always controlled all their forces before. And there's this one Ascended Nerubian specifically that we learn about called Azj-Kahet, which is he's pretty much a monster, right? Total vibe for power and what have you, which is pretty much a commonality amongst all these Nerubians that are becoming Ascended. He's not able to directly control the Nerubian forces under him because he doesn't produce pheromones. So he has to get pheromones in order to do so. We find out how he gets it by meeting another homie called Anub'Azal. One of the generals of the Nerubian forces. He's a very hateful guy. I love him. I think he's a fantastic character. He's like, yeah, so this twat just keeps stealing my pheromones, so let's try to jeopardize this guy and make sure he can't do so. All this time, we find out, like, as we're, venturing forth, we come across this spider lady, big spider lady. What was her name?
Are we talking about the Weaver?
Widow Arachni.
Yeah.
Widow Arachni. It's pretty much like the rebel forces going against the royalty of Azj-Kahet and this new ascension prospect. Most of the Nerubians, they want nothing to do with it, but, they're just trying to fall in line so as not to get killed. But there's a secret underground rebellion trying to root out the corruption. I guess it's pretty much spearheaded by Widow Arachni, who she's introducing us to other characters, trying to find inside men to help us root it all out. I think it's after we meet Anub'Azal and find out about the pheromones and try to undermine Azj-Kahet and his leadership. We get a letter from somebody calling themselves a vizier. They told us this is a big opportunity, someone that's close to Queen Ansarek. We need to go meet this person and figure out, like, what their plan is and if they have any insights into defeating this threat. So we go to visit this vizier guy, and we find out that it's actually someone with high station within the Nerubian leadership, Executor Nizrek. And once we meet him for the first time, it turns out he has a little surprise for us. And out from the shadows steps good old Anduin, where we find out Anduin's fine. He's been hanging out with Executor Nizrek.
Perfectly fine, making friends as usual with random strangers.
As per usual. And of course, when we find Anduin, Illyria comes out of nowhere and is just like, step away, bug man. And she threatens to kill Nizrek. And Anduin's like, no, stop, please, Illyria. And
very dramatic. No, stop.
So we stop Illyria from, doing the unthinkable and killing a bug. All right. And yeah, Anduin goes through this whole monologue as to why, we need to be more understanding and knowing that, not all Nerubians are bad guys.
They're not just bugs, they're people too.
They're bugs or people too. And, that's the title for this episode, I think. That's a good one. Bugs are people, too. But anyway, so we listen to Anduin and, gives us his spiel of, like, why we should support the Nerubians and try to get help from the Nerubians that are being subjugated against because of their lack of faith in the new Nerubian leadership and this corrupted black blood. So Nizrek makes us do all these missions that are essentially sabotaging all Queen Ansorex's propaganda. Propaganda.
Just that propaganda.
Their propaganda. I gotta take a propaganda. Oh, man. Okay.
You need proper grammar.
I'm trying here. I feel like I prefaced enough now as to like what all is going on, essentially. There's one more thing. Towards the end of like this whole quest line and whatnot, we don't know that much about Queen Ansorek, except that she's trying to push this whole ascension thing. A lot of Nerubians are still thinking that like, maybe we can save her, help her to realize her folly and try to turn things around, as it were. But then we get this glimpse into how she came to power. We learn about her mother, Queen Neferes, who is pretty much a hero amongst the Nerubians. We see her initially, she was met by the Black Empire. The Black Empire had called upon the Nerubians to fight the forces of Azeroth and what have you.
This was all during Ny'alotha, so during N'Zoth's reign of it all.
She turned them away. She killed the messenger. She said, hell no, Nerubians are having nothing to do with all that crap. I don't know if it was as a result. I remember like the messenger did say something about, because you've denied us, we're gonna have a hard time of it from now on. And they did, in fact, have a hard time of it. People were suffering, starving. The entire kingdom was not necessarily in complete shambles, but they were having a difficult time of it. And someone took advantage of that fact. Good old Xal'atath saw the opportunity and presented Queen Neferes with an opportunity. If you take this black blood, your people will ascend, you'll become more powerful, and your kingdom will thrive. And Queen Neferes saw right through it, and she's like, hell no, we're not doing that. There's too much risk. It's not worth it. We'll suffer in the long run because of it. Right now, we just have to hold out. Unfortunately, her daughter, Ansorek, didn't see it the same way. She's young, naive, and thinks short term. She said, screw you, Mom. And she offed her mother.
Didn't offer. Yeah, she, I think, fed a lot of black blood to her mother, and now she looks like a giant-ass scarab.
Well, that's true.
She is no longer who she once was.
I thought she, stabbed her, and then we don't get what happened between then and seeing the giant scarab monster that her mother had become. But yes, something happened in between there, which wasn't good. She pretty much, she turned her mother into a monster. So we got that, and we realized that Ansorek is just an absolute monster, and she needs to be stopped. There's no rectifying any of her actions. There's no...
Her legs need to be plucked one by one.
Yeah, she needs to be stopped. We get to a point where there's an ascension day. We go into the inner city to, check it out. And Illyria is with us, Illyria and Anduin, during the Queen Ansorek's speech. Illyria, she has this feeling. She's like, Xal'atath has fully corrupted her. You can feel this negative energy emanating from her, or whatever it may be. And then Illyria notices, Xal'atath, she's here. She sees Xal'atath floating around Queen Ansorek, which I guess nobody else can see.
See Xal'atath?
Yeah, see Xal'atath floating around.
Being that she's void, I feel she could kind of just meddle into one person's mind whenever she sees fit.
Yeah, something like that happened. Once again, Illyria's like, oh, I'm gonna take the shot. Which, like, every time before, she's always missed the shot or been stopped somehow or another, but she's like, oh, I'm gonna try it again. And so she lets off an arrow and misses Xal'atath, or Xal'atath vanishes and starts messing with her again, and then everybody sees us and is like, oh, they tried to kill the queen, and so they all come after us.
And we're like, no, wait, not yet. That's not what we were here for this time.
Not this time. Illyria is confronted again by Xal'atath, and Xal'atath's just like, come to the dark side. You've done so many horrible things. Stop pretending.
She goes, you're not my father. It's not true.
She's like, stop trying to pretend like you're not a monster, you know? And Illyria's like, I'm not a monster. And then she turns her down, and then we get a great view in that little animation clip of Xal'atath's feet, where inspired the question of, oh, I wonder if there's what is the thing called? Rule 34?
Rule 34.
Yeah. Jesus. I was like, I wonder. I know there's some horrible things on the internet having to do with Xal'atath's feet. And sure enough, we did find out later on that yes, there is in fact, unfortunately,
oh, God. Rule 34 basically states that if it exists, there is something horribly made about it.
of a sexual nature.
Don't look it up, kids.
Yeah. Don't look into that one. But anyway,
Jesus.
So Illyria is finally starting to see sense, and she says, "Okay, you know what? I'm done. I've done some terrible things. I've been seeing red this whole time. I need to step back, chill out, and we need to come together and stop Queen Ansarek and her plans for the Nerubians." We meet up again with Widow Arachni and Anub'Azal and Executor Nizrek, and we, have a little powwow saying, like, we can get all the forces of Azeroth together to get our backs and storm the palace. What is it called? The Nerubar Palace or something like that?
I think so.
We need to storm the palace, and we need to take out Ansarek. We say, okay, we got there, go ahead. We head back up to Dornegal. We meet up with the Alliance and Horde forces and the Earthen, and we say, this is what we need to do. This is where we need to go. We need to take out Queen Ansarek and stop this madness. And hopefully, by extension, weakening Xal'atath's grip that she has on the Nerubians. So, still don't know exactly how to take out Xal'atath. She just seems like this insurmountable force to be reckoned with. We have no idea how to take her out, but we have a goal in mind. We have to take out Queen Ansarek. We have a bit more story to go that we haven't gotten into. We have a raid to do. We have the rest of this quest line, The War Within, to delve into and figure things out, and how we're going to pull all of our forces together in order to take out this threat and storm the palace. I'm excited for it. We'll obviously make another episode talking more about that. I knew this was going to be a long one because a lot happened here.
There's a lot more than I expected.
A lot to kind of hash out on this final zone, getting ready for the final push of the expansion. Glad we got through that. I feel like I didn't butcher too many names too bad. I think this went pretty well.
I'd say so, but there's one atrocity about it.
Uh-oh, what's that?
As a skinner and leather worker, why can I not skin the Nerubians?
Because, like we said before, bugs are people too.
No, because back in the day I was able to skin Nerubians.
But Anduin has brought to light
that
bugs are people too now.
I need the chitin to create male armor. Just let me skin the Nerubians.
You don't need the chitin. They're people now. Thank you for joining us on the Merle and Locke podcast. If you enjoyed this banter, please consider becoming a patron by going to patreon.com/merleandlocke or simply follow the link in the description. Thank you.